Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss about adjoint of a matrix and examples on adjoint of a matrix. So the definition of adjoint of matrix is adjoint of a given square matrix is obtained by replacing the elements by cofactor and taking its transpose. So this is the definition of adjoint of a matrix. So before knowing the definition of this adjoint of matrix, we should know what is mean by transpose of a matrix. See, transpose of a matrix means if A is any matrix obtained by interchanging the rows in terms of columns or columns in terms of rows, then A is called transpose of a matrix and it is denoted by A capital letter T, A transpose or A dash. So one example I will consider, you will understand what is the meaning of transpose of a matrix. So for example, if A is equals to one matrix, I am going to consider 2 minus 1 3 4 0 5. So I need to find out transpose of this given matrix. So we know transpose of a matrix is denoted by either A transpose or A dash. So therefore A transpose or A dash is equals to, see what this definition tells us, if A is any matrix. So this is one matrix obtained by interchanging. What we are going to do here, we are going to interchange. How we are going to interchange? Either rows in terms of columns or columns in terms of rows. Any one we need to do. So here what I am going to do, here first row I am going to write it as a first column. See what is the first row here, 2 minus 1 3. I am going to write it as a first column, 2 minus 1 3. Second row 4 0 5. I am going to write it as a second column, 4 0 5. So this indicates A transpose. So what I did rows in terms of columns here. So we need to interchange either rows in terms of columns, otherwise columns in terms of what, rows. Any one we need to do it. So first row is 2 minus 1 3. So you need to write it as a first column, 2 minus 1 3. Second row 4 0 5. Write it as a second column, 4 0 5. Or else first column 2 4. Write it as a first row, that is 2 4. Second column minus 1 0. Write it as a second row, minus 1 0. Third column 3 5. Write it as a third row, that is 3 5. So this matrix indicates what here, the transpose of a matrix. So this is the meaning of what, transpose of a matrix. So now to find out adjoint of a matrix, first step, after giving the square matrix, we need to find out the cofactor for that given square matrix. After finding the cofactor matrix, we need to take the transpose. Then we get which type of matrix here, adjoint of a matrix. Now I will take one example. In that example you will understand how to find out adjoint of matrix. First example, if A is equals to first row 2 minus 5, second row 3 minus 1, find adjoint of a matrix. So what I said, to find out adjoint of matrix, first we need to find out the cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix. So see here, solution. First, cofactor matrix A is equals to. So already in the previous class I told you how to find out cofactor matrix for second order. First we need to write down the sine rule. So for second order, sine rule is plus minus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus. Next, what to do? First element we need to take. So what is the first element? 2. When you are taking 2, you need to delete that particular column, you need to delete that particular row. So if I delete that column and that row, what is the remaining element here? Minus 1. So in place of 2, you need to write here minus 1 in bracket. So next, what is the second element here? Minus 5. So whenever you are taking minus 5, delete that particular column and delete that particular row. So if I delete these two, so what is the remaining element here? 3 is the remaining element. So in place of minus 3, you need to write what here? 3. So next, third element is 3. So whenever you are taking 3, delete that particular column, delete that particular row. So if you delete these two, so what is the remaining element here? Minus 5. So in place of 3, we need to write what here? Minus 5. So next, last element is minus 1. Whenever you are taking minus 1, delete that column, that row. So what is the remaining element here? 2 is the remaining element. So in place of minus 1, you need to write what here? 2. Then close the bracket. So next, multiply the sign. So which is equals to plus into minus is minus 1, minus into plus is minus 3, minus into minus is plus 5, plus into plus is what? Plus 2. So this is the cofactor matrix. So cofactor matrix. Now we got cofactor matrix. Next, what to do? We need to find out what here? Adjoint of matrix A. Therefore, adjoint of matrix A is equals to. So what we need to find now here? Adjoint. To find out the adjoint, we need to take the transpose of this cofactor matrix. So just now I told you, transpose means we need to interchange either rows in terms of columns, otherwise columns in terms of what here? Rows. So here first row is minus 1, minus 3. I am going to write it as a first column, minus 1, minus 3. Second row is 5, 2. I am going to write it as a second column, 5 and 2. This matrix indicates what here? Adjoint of a matrix. So this is the answer. So one more time I will explain. To find out the adjoint of a matrix, first we need to find out the cofactor matrix. You know, to find out cofactor matrix, first we need to write the sine rule. So what is the sine rule for second order? Plus, minus, minus, plus. So once you write this sign, next step you need to take the elements. Take the first element. Whenever you are taking the first element, delete that column, that row. Remaining element you should write it in the first element place. So next, minus 5, delete that column and that row. 3 you should write it in the second place. So next, whenever you are taking 3, delete that particular column and row. Next, minus 5 here. And whenever you are taking minus 1, delete that particular column and row. So what is the remaining element here? 2. So write it here 2. So next, sign multiplication you do. Plus into minus is minus 1, minus into plus is minus 3, minus into minus plus 5, plus into plus is plus 2. So this indicates the cofactor matrix. So once you find cofactor matrix, next step is to find out adjoint of matrix. So what to do? You need to take the transpose of which matrix? Cofactor matrix. So transpose means you have to interchange either rows in terms of columns, otherwise columns in terms of what here? Rows. Therefore first row minus 1, minus 3, I am going to write it as a first column, minus 1, minus 3. Second row 5, 2, I am going to write it as a second column, 5 and 2. So this indicates the adjoint of matrix. Next example. If A is equals to 0, 2, 5, 1, find adjoint of A. So first what to do? Before finding adjoint of matrix, we need to find out the cofactor matrix of A. Therefore solution, cofactor matrix A is equals to, for second order sine rule you write first, plus minus minus plus. So next, which one is the first element? 0. So delete the column and row. If I delete these two, what is the remaining element here? 1. So write here 1. So next, second, 2 is the second element, delete that column, that row. If I delete these two, what is the remaining element here? 5. So in place of 2, write here 5. Next, third element is 5. Whenever you are taking 5, delete that particular column, delete that particular row. What is the remaining element? 2. So in place of 5, you need to write what here? 2. So last element is 1. Whenever you are taking 1, delete that particular column, particular row. What is the remaining element here? 0. So in place of 1, you write here 0. So next, sign multiplication you do. Therefore, plus into plus is plus 1, minus into plus is minus 5, minus into plus is minus 2, plus into plus is what here? Plus 0. So this is nothing but cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix. So once you get the cofactor matrix, next step is to find out adjoint of A. Therefore, adjoint of A is equals to, what to do? Take the transpose of this cofactor matrix. So interchange, first row I am going to write it as a first column, second row I am going to write it as a second column. So this matrix indicates what here? Adjoint of matrix. So next example, if A is equals to 2, 1 first row, minus 3, 1 second row, then find A into adjoint of A. So this is the next type of example. So in the previous example, only you need to find out what here? Adjoint of A. But in this type of example, you need to find out A into adjoint of A. So in such type of example, first step, you need to find out cofactor of A. First step, what to do? You need to find out cofactor matrix of this A. Second step, you need to find out adjoint of A. Second step, you need to find out adjoint of A. Third step, you need to multiply A into which matrix? Adjoint of A. These three steps you need to follow whenever you are solving A into adjoint of A, because directly we cannot find out A into adjoint of A, because we know the value of A but we don't know adjoint of A value. Therefore, first we need to find out adjoint of A. So before finding the adjoint of A, we need to know which value here? Cofactor of A. That's why in such type of example, first find cofactor of A. Second step, find out adjoint of A, then multiply A into adjoint of A. So see the solution. First find out cofactor of A. Cofactor of matrix A is equals to, write the sine rule, plus minus minus plus. So first element, delete the column and that particular row. What is the remaining element? 1. So write in place of 2, write here 1. Second element is 1, delete the column, that row. What is the remaining element? Minus 3. So in place of 1, write here minus 3. Next, third element is minus 3, delete that particular column and that row. Remaining element is 1. So in place of minus 3, write here 1. Last element is 1, delete the column, that row. What is the remaining element here? 2. So write here 2. So next, multiply the sign. So plus into plus is plus 1, minus into minus is plus 3, minus into plus is minus 1, plus into plus is what here? Plus 2. So this is cofactor matrix. So once you get the cofactor matrix, next step is to find out which value? Adjoint of A. Therefore, adjoint of A is equals to, what to do? Take the transpose of cofactor matrix. So first row I am going to write it as a first column, second row I am going to write it as a second column. So this is adjoint of A. So we got adjoint of A. So now we need to find out A into adjoint of A. Therefore A into adjoint of A is equals to, first A matrix, what is the A matrix here? 2 1 minus 3 1, right? 2 1 minus 3 1, next into adjoint of A, into what is adjoint of A value? 1 minus 1 3 2, 1 minus 1 3 2. So now you need to apply here multiplication rule. So what is that multiplication rule? You need to multiply first row with first column, in that first element with first element plus second element with second element. Next first row second column, next second row first column, then second row second column. So see, so which is equals to 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1 into 3 is 3. Next first row first column is over, next first row second column, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2 plus 1 into 2 is 2. Next second row first column, minus 3 into 1 is minus 3 plus 1 into 3 is 3. Next second row second column, minus into minus is plus, 3 into 1 is 3, next middle with sign plus, 1 into 2 is how much here? 2, 1 into 2 is 2, then add. So therefore which is equals to 2 plus 3 5, minus 2 plus 2 means 0, minus 3 plus 3 0, and 3 plus 2 is how much here? 5. So this is the value of what? A into adjoint of A.